in the morning. Yeah, it's time for the Crack a Dawn Show. The Crack a Dawn Show. Happy Friday! Alright, well, welcome everybody. Good morning to everybody who's at work, college, home, wherever you might be. Good morning to everybody. You're currently streaming live with us right here in Lenasia South on Attenville TV. Yeah. This is the Crack a Dawn Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And if you want to join the conversation and interact with us in studio today, you can do so by commenting at the bottom of your screen. Right there. You know that column is live chat? Yeah, there. Yeah, anyway, if you want to use our contact details, you can look at the bottom right of your screen right there, as you'll find the contact details throughout the show. But it's nice when you comment on the screen, as when you comment from whichever platform you're from, we put it up on the screen. So
it will taste like sunshine on a rainy day. Oh, so make it a day, the quarter pound away. Da 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 da.
Hey, seeing a quarter pounder, baby, on a Friday? Yeah. I'm gonna give you some McDonald's for supper tonight, as every Friday is takeout day in my home. So yeah, I'll just check it out a bit later. I don't know, maybe we should get some KFC. You know, I decided not to fast today, so don't shout me. For those of you who are watching the show. But yeah, anyway, we're talking about mysterious cities that vanished without a trace. But before we do that, let's open up the show with a bang. As we all know, Wackhead Simpson's prank keeps you laughing in the morning. Alright, here's Wackhead Simpson with a dumb fart prank.
Okay, so today we're doing a prank. This guy has a whole bunch of mates, and you know the saying, who needs enemies when I have friends like these? All right. So this is the story. This guy was born with a very unfortunate surname. So, and they all work in an office environment, and they have to hear this guy repeat his surname back, because when people say, they're like, what? What's your surname? Oh. And then generally laughter ensues. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll spell you a surname. It's a very rare surname. In fact, there's apparently only five people in South Africa with the surname of Austrian origin. D-U-M F-A
Oh no.
R-T.
No. Are you making this up?
Dumfart. That's a surname, yeah.
How does he prefer you pronounce it?
Well, we'll find out.
Is that not Dutch origin? Because I know there's a Dutch player, Dumfries. So I wonder if it's similar sort of thing.
No, the genealogy that I did on it, traced it back to Austria.
Yeah, Dumfart.
Yeah. Unfortunate.
Unique.
Unfortunate. All right. So I'm going back to high school here today in the prank. All right. You know, it always at school. Okay, has an unfortunate surname. You know, he just cops it the whole time. So I'm gonna see how many puns I can get in to the conversation and count them before he just has enough.
It's like a sensor survey.
Kind of. Okay. Remember, this sucker's copped it from all angles.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see here. How many puns? Count him.
Hello, speaking.
What's your surname?
It's Dumfart.
Dumfart.
Yes.
I'm keen on booking a holiday.
Okay.
Do you do any sort of packages to the Kruger Park?
Yes, we can do that, yeah.
Because I was in the Kruger Park a little while ago, and there were all these hot winds.
Okay.
And my mom had the window open, and she couldn't help but blink her brown eye. And then suddenly, it was quite a hectic story, because we heard this roar from the rear.
Yeah.
The car then started to backfire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's quite dangerous, as you probably know,
Yeah.
to get out in the Kruger Park, because there's there's a lot of barking spiders and low flying ducks. Yeah. Once I caught two, but then I let one go. So anyway, then we carried on,
Yeah.
and we ran out of gas.
You ran out of gas.
Yeah, and then this other car very kindly passed gas,
Yeah.
and then we got going again, and then we had a rear end blowout.
Okay.
we-
Sounds like you didn't have
Yeah,
time in your life there, eh?
yeah, because we had such bad luck. You should have seen the skid marks, man. And then, we're driving and we didn't see anything for like an hour. So my dad telling us the story about when he was playing in this dart contest and he dropped the dart.
As you would do.
Yeah, and wow, it was like so boring. But because my dad, he's actually a surgeon,
Okay.
and I prefer like his story about him operating on this guy, and he dropped his guts.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I got bored and I put
Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah.
I put on a DVD in my portable player, and I couldn't decide on Backdraft or Crack a Ripper. And then my mom, she got hungry, so she opened her lunchbox and she cut the cheese.
Yeah.
And whoa, in the car, you can imagine.
Not nice, eh?
Yeah, I mean, and the smell was overpowering her perfume, which was Chanel No. 2. Did you know what the weather's like in Australia? Is there thunder down under at the moment?
Wackett Simpson, everybody, my personal favorite radio presenter right here on Attenville TV. Today's prank was about dumb fart prank. So just to repeat those words a little bit vulgar. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy that one. Every single weekday, Monday through to Friday, when we open up the show, there is a Wackett Simpson prank to keep you happy and laughing. Alright, as we're going through the show and we come back, we're going to talk about the 5 mysterious cities that actually vanished without a trace. It's being hosted by Alexia Morgan when we come back straight after this commercial break.
I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Oh, because you're mine. Because you're mine.
Welcome back, guys. If you just joined us, you are currently streaming live with us right here in the Nature Sound on Attenville TV, baby. Yeah. All right. This is the Crack a Dance Show, and I'm your host, Kimera Heeralal. If you want to join the conversation and interact with us in studio today, you're welcome to do so at the bottom of the screen. Yep. All right. So let's talk about these cities that we decided to mention or advertise for as promised. Now, some of the world's greatest cities are no more. Yeah. So once thriving, hundreds of cities across the world now lie in ruins, ravaged either by war, okay, or simply a natural progression. Now there are world's greatest lost cities out there. Okay, I found quite a few, right? So there's the temple of well, they call it Tikal, okay? That's a lost city as well. No ways to trace it. It's quite sad. Another one is Siestafan in Iraq. It's an ancient Persian capital city, which is actually quite beautiful. There's the abandoned trading city in Great Zimbabwe, which is in Zimbabwe, right? And the lost city of Mohenjo-daro in Pakistan. Beautiful city that used to be around, no more. Okay. There are many mosques of, they say mosques of Mosque City of Bengarat, that's in Bangladesh. And there's also the canyon walls of Mesa Verde in Colorado, USA. And not forgetting the shrines of Vijayanaga, it's called Vijayanaga in India. And there's also one of the great lost cities in Ani, meaning Turkey, and the ancient tombs of Thebes in Egypt. Yeah. Also, there's another ancient port city of Carthage, Tunisia. All right, so there are quite a bit of cities that have been around, that have been beautiful, that have, well, been demolished now. But we're talking about the top 5 mysterious cities with Alexia Morgan. I'll give you quite a few more, so it's not actually the top 5 today. So let's title it Mysterious Cities That Vanished Without a Trace. Yeah, let's join Alexia Morgan coming in at number 5. She's talking about the Indus Valley Civilization.
Hello curious minds of the interwebs, glad to have you all here. My name is Alexa and I'm the resident ooky spooky girly around here. As a city dweller, it's almost impossible to think that in the future my city could be nothing more than an unknown history story. But hey, anything's possible, right? Well, look no further, since here are the top 5 mysterious cities that vanished without a trace. In 5th place, we have the Indus Valley Civilization, also known as the Indus Civilization, or IVC for short. It was a Bronze Age civilization in the northwestern regions of South Asia, lasting from around 3300 BCE to 1300 BCE, in its mature form 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. So together with ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia, it was one of 3 early civilizations of the Near East and South Asia, and of the 3, the most widespread, spanning an area from much of Pakistan to northeast Afghanistan and northwestern India. The civilization flourished both in the alluvial plain of the Indus River, which flows through the length of Pakistan, and along a system of rivers that once coursed in the vicinity of the Ghaggar Hakra, which is a seasonal river in northwest India and eastern Pakistan. The IVC was one of the world's first urban societies, with a population of over 5 million people at its height. The cities of the ancient Indus were noted for their baked brick houses, elaborate drainage systems, water supply systems, clusters of large non-residential buildings, and techniques of handicraft and metallurgy. They not only had command of sophisticated urban planning, but also irrigated their crops, even having the ability to grow rice. With baths and toilets in each house, communal trash disposal at the street corners, no less than 700 wells for fresh water, and a sophisticated drainage system, Mohenjo-Daro was more advanced in 2500 BCE in urban planning than most of the region's cities are today. The cities of Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa very likely grew to contain between 30 to 60,000 individuals, and the civilization may have contained between 1 and 5 million people at its peak. However, the civilization's decline and eventual disappearance are still shrouded in mystery. So one theory is that the civilization was destroyed by a natural disaster, such as an earthquake or a flood. Another possibility is that climate change caused the collapse of the civilization's agricultural-based economy. Whatever the cause, the IVC left behind a rich cultural legacy, including intricate city planning and a written language that has yet to be deciphered.
A very good morning to Chris James. He says, good morning, Kimera. Morning, Mr. James. All right. All right, so we're talking about mysterious cities that actually vanished now, right? And they're saying there's no trace. There are a couple of traces, I'm not gonna lie, but this is the title I was given by my producer and director, so yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the first one that I mentioned before we cut to Alexia Morgan, right? So we were talking about the temples of Tikal in Gate. It's called Gate Mala. If I'm saying it incorrectly, please forgive me. Okay, so Gate Mala's crown jewel is actually Tikal. It's located in Tikal National Park. The lost city is perhaps the greatest of all Mayan city-states. Its magnificent 6 temples still dominate the landscape as much as they did 1,000 years ago. Now, one can witness these ancient structures soaring above the rainforest canopy. And while one is likely to wonder at the ceremonies that once took place here, and the size of the city now swallowed up by the jungle. Coming in at number 4, we've got the Aksumite Empire.
In 4th place, we have the Aksumite Empire. The Aksumite Empire was a trading center located in modern Ethiopia. It is also home to the Queen of Sheba and was at its peak of power around the 1st century CE. To deep dive back into history, the 3rd century Persian prophet Mani, the founder of Manichaeism, identified 4 great empires in the world. He spoke of Rome, China, and Aksum. So 3 of those probably sound right to most of us, but the 4th, the Kingdom of Aksum, might have you questioning me, so hold on to your butts. Aksum was based to the southeast of Egypt, in the highlands of Tigray in present-day Ethiopia. It also included parts of Eritrea, eastern Sudan, and across the Gulf of Aden, much of modern-day Yemen as well. Aksum was known for its formidable naval forces and military might. The kingdom was also a powerful trading nation and had well-established links with the other 3 great powers of the era. Through these trade links, it grew wealthy, building great monuments, developing a sophisticated written script, and introducing Christianity to sub-Saharan Africa. The kingdom is during the 1st century AD and flourished from the 3rd to the 6th century AD. Since the Stone Age, humans had occupied the region, and the agrarian communities thrived there for about a millennium. However, the origins of Axum still remain a mystery. Before Axum, there was the kingdom of Demit. Possibly arriving from Yemen across the water, this small kingdom established themselves on the western shore of the Red Sea. But very little is known of this kingdom and the relationship with Axum. What seems most likely is that following a period of decline, fragmented and were replaced by a number of smaller kingdoms in the region. Most likely, though, these kingdoms slowly came together in the 1st century AD and eventually became known as the large kingdom of, Axum. The local geography of Axum also contributed to its rise. Their capital city, also called Axum, totally not confusing at all, was located at the crossroads of prominent trade routes, and the fertile soil, climate, and rainfall patterns of the city made the region ideal for agriculture and herding of livestock. The people of Axum made the most of the opportunities available to them. Ivory and gold were the most valuable commodities for export, but they fully exploited all the resources of the region to enrich themselves. Rhinoceros horns, salt, emeralds, tortoise shells, myrrh, and live animals all came out of this flourishing power. In return, the Axumites imported steel, iron, textiles, spices, jewelry, glassware, wine, olive oil, and weapons. Through the trade routes Axum established across the Middle East, South Arabia, Egypt, China, and India, they grew rich and strong. The kingdom of Axum was known to be the first African country to mint its own coins out of bronze, silver, and gold. Their capital city grew in terms of size, population, as well as the complexity of development. Through warfare, Axum was also able to expand its territory. During the 4th century AD, King Ezana I of Axum was even able to conquer the city-state of Meroe, which had been Egypt's powerful southern neighbor for centuries. The king of Axum also officially adopted Christianity, replacing the indigenous polytheistic religion previously practiced by the Axumites. Axum also had some local quirks in its religion, such as the inclusion of Maram, god of upheaval, war, and monarchy. The kingdom of Axum had a writing system all of its own. One of the earliest examples of the writing system could be found on the schist rock slabs dating from around the 2nd century AD. The script, known as Ethiopic or Gates, resembles the languages of southern Arabia and apparently evolved from the language of the Demit. The script is still being used in modern Ethiopia, and Christian Ethiopians have their own version of the Bible. In terms of art, the kingdom of Axum had potters who used to produce simple red and black terracotta ware without the use of a wheel. The wares had a matte finish appearance and were often coated with red stain. Pretty neat. Forms of the wares were bowls, cups, and spouted jugs. Geometric designs were decorated with the use of stamps, paintings, incisions, and three-dimensional pieces, one of the most common Eastern cross. No large-scale statues were discovered from the kingdom of Axum. However, stone bases, stone thrones, and small-scale figurines have been discovered. The city that once traded with all of Africa, and potentially the known world at the time, began declining around the 7th century. Some experts think it was climate change, but others think the city was defeated by Judah, a Jewish queen and her invading army. Let me know in the comments what you think.
Let's talk about Ctesiphon that's found in Iraq, the ancient Persian capital city that I've mentioned before. Now, the Ctesiphon was actually the capital of ancient Persian Empire and is located on the river Tigris, not far from modern Baghdad. Now, its showstopper is the enormous vaulted hall and dominated by what is still the world's largest brick-built ark. Also pictures are there. It's pictured rather. The throne room behind it was 30 meters high and 48 meters long, truly fit for a king. Coming in at number 3, we've got Terra Preta.
In 3rd place, we have Terra Preta. When Francisco de Orellana, a Spanish conquistador, was paddling through the Amazon in 1541, he was on the hunt for El Dorado, the fabled kingdom of gold. And sadly, the fabled kingdom remains either a fairy tale or extremely reclusive. But his search wasn't completely a loss. He did report to have found civilization in the forms of large villages and farms sprawled across the rivers, and even massive cities in the distance. However, when later explorers and missionaries returned to the same spot centuries later, they found nothing but wild tangles of vegetation. Francisco's reports were dismissed as bogus when scientists chimed in. Large settlements in the Amazon rainforest? That would be impossible, they said, for the same reason that it's still impossible to occupy the Amazon today. Although the forests have rich, wild plant life, the soils alone are too poor in nutrients to support long-term cultivation of agricultural crops. But, and it's a big one, in the last 30 years or so, archaeologists have been able to discover that the Amazon was actually densely occupied in the past. One surprise in particular was the discovery of something that is, in some ways, much more more valuable than the gold that the Spanish had originally been looking for. Terra Preta de India, or dark earth of the Indian, which is a blend of charcoal and very nutrient-rich earth that is dark in color and extraordinarily fertile, in stark contrast to the surrounding orange-yellowish unproductive earth. Oxysol is a yellow mineral-rich soil known to occur in tropical rainforests, created by slashing and burning parts of the forest, possibly to create space for residential areas, and by smoldering organic waste like animal bones, feces, and straw. It's debated whether this was created intentionally to enrich the soil, but regardless, it seemed to be super dirt that could have made lost cities possible. Terra Preta is often found together with archaeological remains. The soils are an undeniable trace of an accomplished ancient civilization, before the vast majority were wiped out by the diseases the European conquistadors brought with them. No one knows for sure how big these populations were and where they lived. Many archaeological sites are overgrown with trees, and expeditions are expensive. But measuring the extent and location of Amazonian dark earths might be one way to find out. Fieldwork has shown that they are widely distributed across the region. But to get a better idea of the extent of them, archaeologists have teamed up with scientists from other disciplines to make use of new technologies. While the use of satellite data in general to search for archaeological sites is not new, using vegetation indices for archaeological purposes is. The findings from these searches add to a pile of research showing that these man-made soils are widely distributed across the region. Simply put, the Amazon, as uncultivated as we imagine it to be, isn't actually a wild, pristine forest. Beyond Terra Preta, there have been more interesting discoveries of man-made structures in the last few decades, like channels, ditches, curious geometric shapes, and mounds of freshwater snail shells, which is believed to be the remains of residential structures. These people were one with the river, and their villages were often called garden cities. Heck, I had no clue until today that this was a possibility.
Alright, so I've got the abandoned trading city of Great Zimbabwe. Now this lost city was built by the Gokomia people in the 11th century on a plateau around 150 kilometers from the modern day Harare. Now Great Zimbabwe's center was a palace enclosed by a granite wall some 5 meters high, and once a stone city that formed the hub of a major trade network in gold. Now they have a trade network full of gold, ivory, and cattle. So today the ruins lie scattered over a wide verdant valley. Quite nice, huh? I think. I wish I lived. My premises were on top of like a gold mine. So freaking cool. I wouldn't tell people about it, but yeah, I'd trade it. Wait a minute, that's illegal. Anyway, next lost city. There's a city called Mahero Daro in Pakistan. Now, the Indus Valley civilization that built Mahero Daro around 2600 BC was a rival of its better-known Greek and Egyptian equivalents. Now, though little is known about its people, this was once home to early masters of town planning and civil engineering. Now, today is a complex. Today it's complex of houses, shops, ramparts, and streets are under the threat from erosion. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the mysterious cities that have vanished without a trace. We'll come back straight after this commercial break.
You can do anything. All you need is determination. And a fresh pair of these, Nallies. But what's the point of looking like Injay game if all your money is on your feet and your dreams go up in flames? In this world of doing it for Ikram, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, guys. If you just joined us, you are still streaming live with us in the Nation South on Atomville TV. Yeah. This is the Crack It Down Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And, you can join us in conversation just by joining the live chat there at the bottom. It's black. It's a black bar that says live chat. Or you could use the bottom right of your screen where it has our WhatsApp line and join the conversation. Alright, so guys, we're chatting or talking about mysterious cities that vanish without a trace. Today the show is being hosted by Alexia Morgan in America, and before we get to it, let's talk about the the places I found and mentioned earlier to you guys. Okay, so the many mosques. There's something called a mosque city of Baghdad, and it's in Bangladesh, by the way. So at the confluence of the Ganges and Brahmaputra rivers, the 15th century Turkish generally ordered a town to be built. So he designed a city filled with palaces, mosques, and tombs, including his own, by the way. And this ancient town of an impressive 360 mosques an outpost of Islamic world, fell into disrepair shortly after the death of its founder. It has laid for centuries under the vegetation and has now been partly restored. There's actually quite beautiful pictures on the internet if you'd like to see. Coming in at number 2, we've got Alexia Morgan talking about the Roanoke colony.
In second place, we have the Roanoke colony. In August of 1587, a group of around 115 or so English colonists landed on Roanoke Island, off the coast of what is now North Carolina. They were led by colonial governor John White, and included his son, daughter-in-law, and eventually granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English child born in the Americas. A few months later, John sailed to England for supplies, and when he finally returned to Roanoke 3 years later, no one was there. There was no trace of a struggle. The only clues were the words Croatoan and Crow, carved into a wooden post and a tree. The lost colonists were never found. The 2012 discovery of a map of the Virginia Pars area, drawn by John White, revealed plans for a secret fort at the end of Albemarle Sound, 50 miles west of Roanoke. There, at 2 sites located 2 miles apart, researchers uncovered a trove of European artifacts near Native American village Metacoam that make a compelling case of belonging to the vanished 1587 colony. Just months before, an archaeologist claimed to find artifacts related to the missing colonists on modern Hatteras Island, some miles south of Roanoke, then Croatoan Island, home of the Croatoan tribe where they may have taken refuge. Findings include a sword hilt, broken English bowls, and a fragment of a slate writing tablet still inscribed with a letter. Archaeologists continue to search for clues of just what happened to everyone there. Please let me know in the comments if any of y'all have any theories.
The canyon walls of Mesa Freda in Colorado, USA. Now, the Mesa Freda National Park is an early urban settlement once inhabited by Anasazi people. Now, who lived here for the 7th to the 14th centuries AD. It contains over 600 cliff dwellings built mainly from sandstone, wood, and mortar it's under the overhang of the ridges. The most famous of this lost city, Cliff Palace, housed around 100 people and was accessed via ladders. So where to stay at the Mesa Freda if you do go, guys? You can stay in the park itself, or if you want, you can book a stay at the Farview Motor Lodge to check this out. Coming in at number 1, the Olmec Civilization.
And finally, in first place, we have the Olmec civilization. The Olmecs developed their civilization along the Gulf of Mexico. around 1100 BCE. Although most evidence of their structures has disappeared, many carved heads remain to commemorate their existence. All archaeological evidence of the society disappeared after 300 BCE, and their graves have since disappeared, so it's impossible to determine why or if they were killed by disease or force. More than 1500 years before the Maya flourished in Central America, 25 centuries before the Aztecs conquered large swaths of Mexico, the mysterious Olmec people were building the first great culture of Mesoamerica. Starting in 1200 BC, in the steamy jungles of Mexico's southern Gulf Coast, the Olmecs' influence spread as far as modern Guatemala, Honduras, Belize, Costa Rica, and El Salvador. They built large settlements, established elaborate trade routes, and developed religious iconography and rituals, including ceremonial ball games, scarlet fluid letting, and human sacrifice that were adapted by all the Mesoamerican civilizations to follow. The Olmec produced the earliest sophisticated art in Mesoamerica, and their distinctive style provided a model for the Maya and other later civilizations in the region. Small-scale Olmec objects made prior to 900 BC tend to be ceramic, whereas later pieces were often fashioned of jade and serpentine, rare materials that required great skill to carve. The vast majority of Olmec artifacts are sculptures such as figurines, decorated stone stelae, votive axes, altars, and the like. Human figures from the earliest period tend to wear simple, understated costumes, while later ones are more embellished. The purpose of the objects changed as well. The ceramics were simply sculptures, while the jade pieces were often intended for rulers to wear. Recurring images in Olmec art were dragons, birds, dwarves, hunchbacks, and most important, the were-jaguar, indicating a belief in the supernatural and in shamanism. The most famous Olmec artifacts are 17 colossal stone heads, presumed to have been carved between 1200 BC and 900 BC. Cut from blocks of volcanic basalt, the heads, which range in height from 5 to 11 feet and weigh as much as 20 tons, are generally thought to be portraits of rulers. Archaeologists still have not determined how the Olmec transported the basalt from quarries to various settlements as far as 80 miles away, and in San Lorenzo, hoisted it to the top of a plateau some 150 feet high. And sometime around 300 BC, their civilization vanished. No one knows why. Civil war, famine, and natural disaster are the leading theories, although without bones, there is very little that can be determined for sure. They went from a bustling civilization to a blip in history. And that brings us to the end of our list, and would anyone mind if I borrow a time machine? I just want to go back and visit all of the incredible art in history. And, learn some lost languages too. No biggie. Fine, I guess that's not allowed for now.
The shrines of Vijayanagar in India. Now, you've probably never heard of it, but in 1500 AD, Vijayanagar had basically twice the population of Paris and was the hub of the greatest empire in southern India. Now, this legendary city was built around a set of holy places, including the spectacular Virupaksha temple, which still stands. Now, today its temples, districts and shrines are revered by Hindus and non-Hindus, which are actually alike. Here's another one of the cities that are actually, quite lost. One of the great lost cities, Ani in Turkey, the magnificent capital of a 10th century Armenian kingdom, was known as the city of 1001 churches. Now, many of them remain in a place today, bewitchingly out of the place in the green fields around them. It's hard to actually imagine that these evocative ruins, largely forgotten, once formed a part of a city-state that rivaled Damascus or should I say Constantinople. Alright guys, that's all we have for today with the mysterious cities that vanished without a trace. And thank you to Alexia Morgan for helping me host the show today. It was quite a bit of a help. Thank you so much. Hope you guys are having an awesome day in America. Alright, so stay exactly where you are, guys. We got lots of entertainment, musical entertainment coming up straight after this commercial break. Welcome back, guys. Oh man, we're still here in the Nature South. We're still on Actonville TV. You're still watching the Cracker Down Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal. Now, as promised, we said we're gonna entertain you this morning with great music and great entertainment. Now, I know everybody in the English-speaking world knows the group called Evanescence, right? Hello, their music is hot, right? So today, Evanescence, a song called My Immortal, is being covered by Cristel Emiliani from Italy. Let's check out.
I'm so tired of being suppressed by all my tiredest fears. And if you had to leave, I wish that you would just leave. Your presence still lingers here, and you won't leave me alone. This wounds won't seem to heal. This pain is just a real. There's just too much that time cannot erase. When you're crying, wipe away all of your tears. When you're screaming, fight away all of your fears. And I had your hand through all of these years, but you're still had
Evanescence Immortal, or My Immortal rather, covered by Christelle Emiliani from Italy this morning. Okay, not a song for a Friday, but yeah, we're gonna try. We're all about showcasing talent, guys, right here on Atonville TV. And well, if you feel you've got talent, don't forget you're allowed to use your smartphone, capture your talent. It doesn't have to be singing, guys. You can do anything. Whether you can bake, whether you can, I don't know, maybe you're double jointed or something. Capture it with your camera. Capture the content of whatever is it that you do, and we'll showcase it right here on the Crack a Dance show. That's what we're about, eh? We uplift those as we're uplifting ourselves. Yeah, that's what we're about. All right. So we've got lots of music coming up to keep you well entertained and keeping you smiling. We've got Prince James coming in saying, yes, Kimera, I'm enjoying the content. Okay, I asked him if he liked the content, meaning the show. You know, we were talking about the mysterious cities that actually vanished. And I know it's coming. The show is coming across as documentaries, as we're doing a lot of work and research to do our full hour, 1 hour show. Now don't forget, I'm still looking for a presenter to sit by my side and talk a whole lot of throughout the show, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can't say that word on TV. Yeah, you get in trouble. So as old as I am, my mama gonna come. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, stay exactly where you are when we come back. We got lots of music as it is a Friday to keep you going straight after this commercial break.
The ultimate accessory, the latest shiny thing, mesmerized. Trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money, or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, you crack of dawners. All right. As promised, that I'm keeping the music going. I'm not gonna waste your time. I'm going, you know. All right, coming up next, everybody knows John Mayer's In the Blood. Today, it's being covered by Dylan Galvin from USA. He's doing an acoustic version of this track. Check him out.
Much of my mother has my mother left in me? How much of my love will be insane to some degree? And what about this feeling that I'm never good enough? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? How much of my father am I destined to become? Will I dim the lights inside me just to satisfy someone? Will I let this woman kill me or do away with jealous love? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? I can't feel the love I want, I can't feel the love I need, but it's never gonna come the way I am. Could I change it if I wanted? Could I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? How much like my brother does my brother wanna be? Does a broken home become another broken family? Will we be there for each other like nobody ever could? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? I can't feel the love I want, I can't feel the love I need, but it's never gonna come the way I am. Could I change it if I wanted? Could I rise above the flood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood? Will it wash out in the water, or is it always in the blood?
Dylan Galvin from the United States of America, first time on Astonville TV, covering John Mayer's In the Blood. What a beautiful track. Alright guys, if you got any talents, don't forget, capture it with the camera and send it to us. As you can see, Fridays, that's what we do, son. My baby just came up. Alright, so stay where you are, as we are still gonna do our fun facts towards the end of the show, but we're gonna keep you entertained with great music. I don't know what you think. Tell us, comment at the bottom of the screen. I want to hear what you think of our music, baby. Okay, so we've got Prince James. He tells me that he's working overtime. Yeah, because I asked him what's he getting up to this weekend, and well, he said he's gonna sleep. Okay, so I asked him, like, you know what, why so boring? He says no, he's working overtime, guys. So yeah, shame. Okay, so I guys, if you want to interact with us in the studio today, let us know what you're getting up to for the weekend. It'll be nice to hear from you guys, as I love the interaction in the studio. Excuse me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna come back and play one more song for you and do our fun facts just before we leave. We'll come back straight after this commercial break. Welcome back, my crack of daughters. You're still streaming live with us in the Nation South on Astonville TV, baby. Yeah. Alright, this is the Crack of Dawn Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And as we're keeping you well entertained with some good music and great upcoming artists that you don't know. Thank you. Thank you for watching the show. Alright, so we've got, as I was talking to Prince James from Facebook on our comments, he mentioned that he's working overtime. He also cares to share with us a little bit more, saying, my boss said I must work overtime. She said I must move in the office so that I don't leave. I'm hoping that was a joke, dude. Alright. Okay, so as promised, we got lots of music coming up for you guys. Well, we just played two lekker tracks. For those of you who are overseas, lekker means nice in slang in our country. But anyway, coming up next, we've got Rayma's Calm Down. Everybody knows the song. Hey, calm down. Lockdown. Okay, let me leave the artist to do it. That's why I'm a presenter. I'll keep my day job. Alright, today it's being covered by Eleanor from South America. Check out.
down. Girl, you sweet like Fanta, Fanta. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me young go, oh young go. No, tell me no, 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 no. Baby, come give me la 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 la. You got me like whoa, 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 whoa. Shawty, come give me la 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 la. I search my eyes, I say make her rest small. Ask me to wake up, that shit in my mind no. They wanted to and the focus. Now so me I call them, say me couldn't go up. As I start to tell her, I feel now my heart it is. Baby girl, if you leave me, I'm not gonna love again. Because I get many girls feel blow my heart for pain. Should be you feel me, pain. Baby, calm down, calm down. Girl, this your body, put them out for lockdown, oh lockdown. Girl, you sweet like Fanta, Fanta. If I tell you say I love you, you know they for me young go, oh young go. No, tell me no, 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 no. Oh, 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 oh. Baby, come give me la 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 la. You got me like whoa, 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 whoa. Shawty, come give me la 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 la
Elera from South America, guys. Performing for you, Rivers. Calm down. It's a very big track. Oh, calm down. Calm down. Okay, now I'm packing on. Wait, let me sit down again. Alright, guys. Keeping you well entertained on this beautiful Saturday. I'm saying beautiful Saturday. Beautiful Friday morning. I'm already jumping into Saturday because that's why I'm asking everybody on air. Hey, what you do for the weekend? You know, it's a one weekend. I actually have a bit of a open space to live normal, maybe shoot a game of pool, I don't know, drive around the south acting man. You know, I'm the usual when you're young, or you do stupid things, or like you do things that you can spend, like any activity to spend time with your family, your friends, the neighbors, you know. Those were the days. I miss those days. I hope I can get back to it. Maybe we will think about it today and see what we get up to for the weekend. Alright, so as promised, beats just coming like this your way as it's a Friday. Boom, 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 boom. Coming up next, you know, everybody knows Peter Andre's Mysterious Girl, move your body close to mine. Woo! I know you know that track, and I know you just got off your seat saying, girl, play that song. Okay, I'm gonna play that song for you. But, here's the catch. It's not by Peter Andre today. Today, it's being performed by Cool Vibes from the Solomon Islands. Check them out.
The bass. I said tonight is your lucky night. Cool Vibes up on the back, we sing it up one time. Ready?
I stop and stare at you, walking on the shore. I try and concentrate, my mind wants to explore. The tropical stare of you fix me up above. Girl, when I look at you, all I fall in love. Oh, know that you look so fine. Oh, girl, I wanna make you mine. Oh, I want to be with a woman just like you. Oh, you know that I'm the only man. Oh, who can love you like I can. Oh, just let me be with a woman that I love.
Baby girl, shine
Ready? Watching the sun go down as night is drifting in. We can get close enough, I feel the warmth within. As I'm looking in your eyes, feel it showing light. Girl, when you touch me, it's time to take it through the night. Oh, girl, I wanna be with you. Oh, wanna spend the night with you. Oh, I want to be with you. Again, just like again. Oh, girl, I wanna do to you. Oh, all the things you want me to. Oh, I need to be with a woman that I love.
Baby girl, let your love be released.
Oh, mysterious girl, I wanna get close to you. Oh, mysterious girl, move your body close to mine.
Say, the bass, say, well, I've been sitting right up home, hoping you'll call and find me. Hear your voice, I feel 10 feet. That body where you have, I make the man, them a bowl, man. I trip over man when time your name. Cause your pretty looks around me like a flowers a bloom. And I love the smell of your Elizabeth Taylor perfume. The personality alone light up the room. Just one kiss alone and make me a go boom.
Oh, mysterious girl, I wanna get close to you. So close to you, my baby. Oh, mysterious girl, move your body close to mine.
Again.
Oh, mysterious girl, I wanna get close to you. So close to you, my baby. Oh, mysterious girl, move your body close to mine.
The bass, boom. Tell you why me have desire, and you alone set me some on fire. Me tell them, tell you why me have desire, and you alone the bass. We love you. Bless.
Yeah, keeping it fresh on this Friday morning. Alright. That was Mysterious Girl. The original artist was Peter Andre, but today you saw a performance by Cool Vibes all the way from the Solomon Islands. Woo! Alright, before you go, it's time for us to leave you back. Just one fun fact for the weekend. Okay, did you know the difference between jam and jelly is that the jam is made with mashed up fruit while jelly is made with just plain down fruit? Ooh. You've been schooled. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's a Friday morning, and well, you're going to see me again in the evening for the Journey Show. Join me a little bit later with my homeboy, Pritesh. Yeah, it's going to be a jam-packed show full of culture. And we're going to be a little bit more reserved than this. I have to. But anyway, I'll check you guys on Monday with the Cracker Dance show, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Have a blessed weekend. Have a safe weekend wherever you might be. From myself, Kimera, Heeralal. Love you lots. Bye-bye, guys.